Dynasty. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
I'm just honored to be here. It's kind of nice chill day. Get to watch two teams battle it out with the cold ones and super soakers. Gonna battle it out. First game of the season. Very exciting, and get to watch some players that have probably teamed before, or at least have played against each other in like the 10 mans and stuff. Finally get to play out in a game that actually like matters
Yeah,
and has
yeah.
historical context.
First game of the season, so always exciting. And we're gonna get quite a bit of action between friends, enemies, people that have played with each other, as well as newcomers to the league. And thankfully, our maps are going to be starting on Chalet. We have Super Soaker starting on attack, Cold One starting on defense, and Dynasty. Would you like to introduce the players on each team?
Well, on the starting lineup for Super Soakers, we have Toxic, Midnight Fire 03, Jay, Nova, and Norway. And on the opposing side, on the cold ones, we got Average Terry, Inquisitive, Vedritz, Gluteus Maximus, and Hobbs.
Yeah, so Hobbs was a last minute substitute, as far as we know, for Gurman. And so, apart from that, as far as I know, these are the core rosters from both teams, and it should be a very exciting match. As both teams haven't really gotten their footing yet in the league, as it's only been about 2 weeks since the formation. We get to see what happens and what they've been practicing so far.
Yeah, it's going to be a very exciting matchup here, especially as it is the first game of the season. We don't know what to expect from either of these teams. It could end either way. We don't know, and we can't just make a quick judgment based on previous like matchups or anything like with any other teams. We just have to kind of see as we go here.
Yeah, exactly. Let's go ahead and start the game, Mr. Salt, if you don't mind. As soon as people are ready, that is. I believe both teams are good to go.
Yeah, we should give her full credit to No Salt here for spectating this game too, because that is
Yeah, thank you
very
guys.
very tough role to do. Uh, well, especially.
Yes, exactly. I think it's quite difficult to be a spectator, especially in Siege. When there's so many levels to the map and so much action going on at any point. You're not quite sure what to watch. But Mr. Salt over here is doing a great job for us and has volunteered his services. Um, if I could have you, Dynasty, keep an eye on the Twitch chat for me and let me know what's going on over there, uh, as I do not currently have it open.
Yeah, there's not really much going on right that I can see just yet. I just pulled up the stream, so obviously my chat feed is going to be, I guess, shallow.
Yeah, no worries. As the chatters come in and the match continues, I'm sure we'll get some more people willing to voice their opinions and their insights.
Well, you already got some very, you got some very insightful, I guess, advice here. It says, "Defeat, don't quit your day job." Courtesy of Jeff Snow.
Oh, appreciate it. I have a day job that I thankfully do not want to quit, so it is good times. As the bans come out, we get to see an Osa ban for Chalet. Osa's really strong when it comes to, especially basement attacks, getting the garage wall open, being able to put that shield down, hold from both outside as well as get the plant inside. Top floor attacks, the same thing. Being able to get the mez wall open, push into half wall safely. All of that very useful. Dokubi ban, obviously, for Roam Clear. Zami and Solus are both the new operators on their sides, respectively, I believe. Or, I mean, on defense, that is. And both are very strong coming in, so no out of the ordinary bans here.
Yeah, we have a doc coming in here from Average Terry here on the defensive side. I'm kind of curious to see how that'll be implemented here with their master bedroom defense here.
Yeah,
And
so starting top floor, we get to see Hobbs on his classic smoke play, setting up the site, and both Hefty Boys, Average Cherry and Inquisitive on Maestro, are going to have access to that Bailiff secondary. So, we could see a lot of really fast site setups and, head holes, things that might not be in the ordinary. Um, Otherwise, they're just using it to be able to pop hatches and have good times there.
Yeah, the defense is going to have kind of a fun time trying to hold off the attackers without the Azami in play here, especially over here on the library side. So they're going to have to try to keep their gun up and be able to shut down any attempts to take library and like mezzanine side.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, the UI has changed since last season. I'm just now noticing, as the drone counters and the utility counters are slightly different.
Yeah, it used to wasn't it like numbered or something before?
Yeah,
And
it
now
used
it's
to be
like always
numbers.
terminals?
It was like blank slash like total, and now it's a circle. Oh, starting with a easy pick on a Nova from Vedritz. I believe that was library window if I'm not mistaken. He just peeked it from Mez and got the pick. Oh, I think it was on the pixel. Poor Nova.
Whew. Yeah, the attack's really gonna have to watch out here with those jiggle peaks. Those jiggle peaks are deadly. I hate facing those jiggle peaks whenever I'm like chilly over on like a library side over.
Yeah,
Oh, but
yeah.
he has to watch out himself for the big window there because now he's got an angle from K9 and he's also got another angle from the library as the Nomad just hops in.
Yeah, it is quite the spectacle as another one drops from Vedris. Toxic's just making his way up from Mezzanine. And they have all of Library and Mez control. In case you guys haven't noticed, there's been a couple of changes on Chalet with the lighter colored floors on a couple of parts. It's just something I'm now noticing. But top of blue stairs, they have control, and this one they're going to start working XT on site. Inquisitive picks up Norway, who should have been on K9 balcony on the single door, but they have wall towards half wall open, and so a plant might come in as soon as they can get a little bit of control on that. Oh, shots missed over half wall, and if they were able to get that pick, that would be an easy push in for a plant. They do end up getting that pick, and so now with numbers, we should be able to see them push in for that plant, only denied by the smoke currently. Trey's coming out, and now it's 2v1. Inquisitive, the only one left with the Alda in hand. This is definitely doable on his part, but does he know one is on his outside balcony, the other one is in piano? Unfortunately, but they both kind of pushed at the same time, and he didn't really have anywhere to go. And the attackers take round one. First round win of BroLeague.
Oh yeah, that was a very nice round there from Super Soakers, taking out the library control, capitalizing on the lack of Azamis, cutting off all the angles for the defenders to actually rotate and be able to trade each other off. They just shut everything down and they flooded essentially. The defenders really couldn't play anything. The defenders were just kind of sat there in the middle of the room and they couldn't really do anything about that. About all that
Yeah,
control that the attackers took.
I think once they got the pick on top Mez, they overextended a little bit. You saw Vedritz kind of moving out into the angles that he wasn't fully aware of, as well as the other person that was playing on that side. I believe at like mid blue, maybe lower like bar area. They both kind of got picked, and once the man count evens up, it's really hard to hold that site from a distance, right? Because they're trying to hold it through master, they're trying to hold it through piano. But it's just a tough situation once you lose that.
And I think those long range engagements that you were just speaking of is one of the main, like I guess, reasons why they bring in the dock with the 1.5. That's like a very strong pick. And same with the mute there. I wonder if the mute's running the 1.5 there on the MP5.
Yeah, it could very well be. We do see that the actually no, Mute lost the 1.5 this season, so he might be able to do that.
Okay.
But we do see the Brava coming out, and so most likely that's going to be able to counter both the Meister cams and the Mute jammers that have been placed on defense. And so I'm excited to see where Toxic takes those clutch drones that are new to Rainbow Six Siege.
Yeah, they seem to be doing the same take as last round here with the deep library, and they're probably gonna collapse open wall, maybe go for plant. I wonder if they're gonna go win the round off elimination like last round.
Yeah, exactly. I think This is starting very similar. They do have the one person playing by themselves on K9 balcony. Dritz has to be real careful as he swings back and forth between all of these angles. He does have the small library help, and as long as Doc doesn't overpeak his position, he's really safe and just needs to wait for them to walk in, as one has already made it in. The question is, are the defense aware that one is in library and will be able to push up without a sound?
I'm not too sure they do. Uh, I would definitely say they need to watch out for that because Midnight Fire can easily come up and just take a one-on-one gunfight, especially on the guy box down, as the guy
But
Mez has just got shot down.
yeah, as we say this, trades are coming out from both sides. We do lose both Mez players as for a 2v2 trade. Thankfully, though, they took out Hard Breach as one of the attackers that they were able to get killed, and that kind of makes up for the lack of presence now on Mez side, as they're not going to have a way into sight.
Oh wow, what a lovely play there from the new operator. What's the operator called?
The Clutch Drone,
Brava.
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 Yes.
Yeah, Brava. That's a great play there from Brava. Hacking the Evil Eye and shooting the Maestro or the Mute Jammer off the wall there. So now they can open the wall and even try to get a sneaky planet.
Very true. I think the problem is they don't have any hard breach for that wall, so they would have to open up the soft wall and run across piano, or they would have to walk in through K9 door, and both are very tough to contest. Oh, Midnight takes out another. All right, so getting picks from piano window is now in attacker's favor, as there's only Hobbs left on smoke. He takes down one with the SMG-11, but now he's in a very precarious situation in Master. He wants to try and confirm that kill, but I'm not sure he knows that they're down inside a piano. One's still outside on Suicide Balk, the other one on Head Holes. Hobbs walks out trying to take this fight on Ash. Is he going to get it? Unfortunately not, as Nova takes down Hobbs, and the down is unconfirmed. Attack takes round 2.
That's 2 rounds in a row for Super Soakers. That is to be expected though on Chalet, as it is traditionally a relatively attacker-sided map. With it not being uncommon for the attack to even take 4 rounds to even 5 rounds.
In recent seasons, it's definitely been closer to that like 2/3, 1/3 split towards attack. And so just because Super Soakers takes that early lead in attack, please don't count the cold ones out just yet. They have quite the match ahead of them and plenty of time to make up the ground.
Oh yeah, for sure. Especially on some of these rounds where they defended the same side, they didn't really change anything up, but now they are switching things up. So we got to see how the Super Soakers, I guess, attack this side. See what they do differently.
Exactly. So the beauty of a dining defense is that you can play top floor very similar to if you're playing for a top floor defense, but have the option to either fall off or trade bodies for time and whittle that down until they have to execute on site. I do notice that they're doing a double reinforcement off from kitchen to trophy, which is going to make it very difficult to contest anyone jumping in through trophy window. But they do have the holes above up in solar that's going to be able to look down on those angles. And so I'm a little curious where they're going to play their people, and if they're going to do top heavy, where they have 3 to 4 players up top, instead of a more traditional like 2 inside, 2 up top, 1 down below or floating.
Yeah, it is more common to definitely put holes on that trophy wall in the kitchen so the guy in kitchen can watch the hop in into trophy. It's it's almost a guaranteed free kill almost every round if they decide to push somebody in there and the guy kitchen is just sitting there comfortable.
But it looks like Super Soakers are doing a classic like library K9 push exactly the same way they would for top floor. They're trying to push through piano and office to get control up to about that bathroom master area, and so they can get floor open above dining, open up dining wall, and go for plant. And as we see, Jay finally makes it in the building, and we have a bit of a fight here on big window, but unfortunately it's just a drone, so no bodies just yet.
Yeah, it looks like a large like Ivy push here from or like I guess office side. They opened up the office walls and they have K9 4 open.
Yeah, and Midnight here has the cross, and she's about to get one if he takes a bad step. Unfortunately, a couple of shots whiffed. It's a very tough position, but Vidras catches himself out, being pinched between 2, 1 in piano, 1 on big window. And I think defense is going to fall down solar, as they don't want to contest this any farther. As I say that, Hobbs and Average Terry decide they're going to stick around for just a little longer to see if they can get a free pick as they walk into Master to take the space that they had just earned.
Ooh, what
Couple
a
of whip
little.
shots from Hobbs, but Average Terry goes down from Bathroom. And at this point, Hobbs very smartly says, you know what, I'm going to fall back. This is not worth contesting, and goes down in a trophy.
Yeah, this is a bit of a concerning position for the defenders here, because they have no up top control at all. And now it looks like they're about ready to work vert and pressure site.
Yeah, very much so. They have vertical control over most of the site, and you're going to see the defenders are playing in West Main, they're playing in Trophy, right? They're not actually playing anywhere on site, and because they didn't make those holes from Trophy into Kitchen, they can't deny the plant's long range. Hobbs does pick up one on Nova, I believe, as he was coming down Solar Stairs, or maybe through the holes. Yeah, it was through the holes from bottom West Main up into Bathroom, but I'm not sure they're aware. Jay is crouched or making his way down Solar. Quizziv does pick up another one in Norway, I believe that was also through the holes vertically. And now his 3v3 man count.
Yeah, I wonder if they know that the Jackal's halfway down the stairs right now, halfway down Solar Stairs. Or he's all the way down now. Ah, it looks like they do.
Plant's going to go down in Dining, and I'm not sure if they're able to stop this. Both Hobbs and... Oh! Gluteus swings out the last minute, catches it. It's now a 2v1 in favor of defense. I don't think Attack is going to be able to make this up. I think he's going to try and push for the kills, but unfortunately, they're not giving up freebies. It looks the wrong direction on the rotate, and with that, the round ends. Defense has finally gotten their first win.
That was a bit of a questionable plant spot there from, was it Midnight? I think?
I believe it was Midnight, yeah. So she was planning on the corner, which leaves her exposed to West Main. It does sort of cover her a lot better from Kitchen, but the problem is that doesn't really help when there's a rotate into like that half wall planter where they can just peek up anyway and still shoot you. So yeah, I would say it's definitely a questionable position. I'm not sure it was they were just missing the smokes or they didn't have the coverage if someone was supposed to be looking. I know they had a jackal, so I assume that they still had smokes on board, and so I don't really know why that plant came in so prematurely, but it ended up costing them the round.
I wouldn't say the plant was fully premature as much as the spot was just a bit questionable, especially with the Maestro like cam in the middle of sight, allowing them to like have info on the plant, and then planting like super open to West Main and like Trophy side, because they obviously did not have control of that side, and
Yeah,
whoever was playing over there got shot down by, I think it was the mute.
yeah, I completely agree. If you could pull up that scoreboard again, actually, we see that Toxic and Midnight are actually leading their team. Toxic not having died yet from the attacker's side, as he was the last one left, not able to get any kills. And the other team is making their way in slowly. They just got their first round, so we can't expect equal representation on the scoreboard there. But both teams definitely carrying their weight from all players, and I'm excited to see where it goes.
Yeah, this really does seem like a relatively even matchup between the two teams, despite the scoreboard obviously being 2-1 in favor of Super Soakers. But this is also an attacker-sided map, so that is to be
Yeah,
expected.
exactly. Oh, we're seeing a bandit trick come out, and that's going to be definitely catching that thermite charge. One thermite charge down, and at this point, the attack is wondering, is this worth trying to clear? Do we send Ash up above to, make vertical holes? Do we just try and push trench side? Like, where do we go from here? There looks like they're throwing in nades to blind the bandit and bait out the um, impact EMP there. The problem is they mistimed it as they didn't stick the thermite charge on the first one, and so the blinds went away by the time they actually tried to stick it. Hobbs gets a pickup on the Midnight, I believe, as he was not sure where she died.
Is she up in Trophy? Oh, no.
Maybe?
Well, go. Can you get a good view at Big Rush? Is she down here?
I think she was walking in below, and Hobbs shot her through the floor. We're getting a little bit of lag on stream, so that is part of it. But Hobbs gets downed up in Kitchen, and his roam, I would say, is successful as a minute and a half is off the board, and their flank watch is also off. So if they're trying to retake any part of the map, is significantly easier now that the Nomad air jabs are no longer in effect. I don't know exactly how many she got down. But right now, all attack is stacked up on this bottom west main trench area. They're trying to get the wall and see if this push can happen. Vidri's here in a kind of strange smoke spot. I would expect him to be like pillar side because this is a bit of a suicide position, especially with no ADS is covering that shield. So if an ace charge or a ash charge comes in, he's kind of just has to run it. But he is definitely delaying his time with the smokes that are coming out for both the breach as well as the door. And as trench boiler wall opens, Gluteus is the only one that's going to have to take this 1v1 from, I assume, Jay, who's going to try and face stuff it. 25 seconds is coming down. They have to push as attack is crouch walking down main stairs, hopefully able to pick one. But it's, Inquisitive takes that fight, wins it, and now Attack is in a very precarious situation. Last smoke comes out. They're going to have to walk into this, coming face to face against Gluteus. They win the fight. They have pillar control. Maybe a plant can come down, but Jay is the one that's going to have to stick it. Toxic picks up the frag. Plant's going down. Inquisitive is the last one, gets the pick, and closes it out with the lineup. Unfortunately, Jay was stuck in that planter animation just a couple of seconds after, and loses because of it.
Yeah, what a round there from the Maestro there, cleaning it up.
Yeah, he got the guy that crouch walked down main, walked in from connector, and got both the cover and the planter. It was a very good play from Maestro.
Yeah, extremely pivotal positioning throughout the whole round there, or at least in the execute part of the round, because he got the guy crouch walking down main stairs, and then he came back around and shot two other people that were covering the plant there. So
Oh,
that's very
definitely,
well
yeah.
played there from the Maestro. Very nice shots too.
Very, very well played. And we can see that this team, after warming up those first couple of rounds, is really coming together on their less played sites, being kitchen and basement.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously the first two rounds were definitely like the warm-ups for warm-up rounds, the warm-up reps for the cold ones, especially as the top site is commonly referred to as the worst site on Chile. That being master bedroom, so it's usually not the most advisable to play up top there. Typically kitchen, dining, and basement are usually a little bit better. The basement is usually pretty hairy too, but generally especially in when you're not playing in like pro teams, usually you kind of want to just play like the sites that make it really hard for you to get map control and whatever. And typically once you get library control, it's pretty hard to win when you're over there on master.
Yeah, we do see that the defense is taking this into account. Okay, double cross mass under K9. That's interesting. But we do see this as the defense is taking this into account, and they're deciding to not go to the top floor a third time. Instead, try out their fourth bomb site of the match as bar. And this is fairly classic. You have no one playing suicide, but you do have the hatch in library open. You have the mirror playing out on Mez, most likely one supporting from top blue, maybe Moss area or Ivy. Yeah, and that's exactly what we see. One from playing top blue, looking towards that Moss Ivy area, and then two in sight, one playing connector, one playing bar.
Yeah, it is kind of interesting for somebody to not be playing suicide there. It's usually a pretty strong position in holding library, especially last minute, and it can also help if you put somebody with like a shield, like even like a dock or something. You place him in suicide, and he gets a nice long angle up into Ivy and stuff too.
Sure, it is also a gamble. As Blue Jaeger picks up a pick on Nova, she's down, but it's a very precarious spot. I'm not sure that she can be rezzed. Nova does get confirmed. Inquisitive, flicks over and hits the second one as he walks out of the double door on Piano. But yeah, the suicide is also the gamble that they're pushing library, because if you find out that there's someone there, you can just open it up and hold, across and then put it from the other side. And you kind of have two people just locked in. Inquisitive gets picked up by Toxic far off, but I'm not exactly sure how far.
Ooh, don't shoot your teammate.
Oh,
Norway
going big. I believe that was through the connector hole that he made from bottom main stairs as Midnight cleans it up, and that's the round. Attack takes 3.
Yeah, that was over as fast as it started. That was pretty impressive there from Pretty impressive comeback. I'm pretty sure they were like what down 3-4 at one point.
Yeah,
Yeah, they brought that round back super quick. Very
yeah,
impressive there.
that was a very like I wouldn't say surgical or even lucky, which would be the like extremes, right? But it was definitely like a well executed take from the Nomad and Ace. That the Ace had his foothold that went all the way across connector, and Nomad was able to just take the fights and win them. And so well played from both of them.
Yeah, somebody needs to tell Super Soakers that they're winning.
Who did it?
Don't
I'll
threaten.
spawn peek them. Says Hobbs.
Yeah, don't threaten your second best player, or at least your second best performing player. Usually doesn't end up well.
It's alright, it's just a little friendly banter in the chat. As all good Bro League games have, I think. If there isn't banter, it's not friendly. That's just how it is.
Exactly. Banter's always fun, especially when they're on the enemy team too, and they're your friends. You can just talk a little bit of smack to them, get them all nice and riled up.
Yeah.
But
See,
yeah, it always makes for the best games, most energy.
I'm scared of the teams that don't talk in all chat. Honestly, like if you're not saying anything in all chat, that's someone that's absolutely sweating really hard. They have all the calls, the strats coming out. Like they have the playbook in their lap, and that's someone I don't want to play against.
Yeah, and actually, what really surprises me here is their lineups are actually extremely well coordinated, which makes you really wonder how much these teams are practicing. It seems like they are.
I would say they are definitely like fairly well thought through. I'm not sure that it's from a strat book, just given the fact that my team has only scrimmed a single time, and the friends that I know on other teams have only scrimmed 1 to 2 times. So, oh, Nori picks up Beatrice from K9 all the way into piano, and that is first blood and half of top floor control just given.
Yeah, he just shot a little hole in the panel there and just
Yeah,
found an angle on the guy.
they had a drone that was sitting in office, spotted the guy in piano, and from there it was just a matter of opening up enough that he can see and taking the kill.
Yeah, it was probably pretty free there for Norway. Of course, when you get something for free, you're gonna take it. So obviously, he did a really good job at capitalizing that. These are some hairy gunfights that come here from Terry on the guy piano half wall there.
Yeah, we do
that's
see.
a very hard. That's a very difficult gunfight to take too. So, but he
Exactly.
wins it.
The solo hold from the castle up top is kind of a hero play right now. Is he aware? Oh, he is not. As unfortunately, Jay is able to push up and take the kill.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's pretty ambitious holding all that, but I mean he got one kill. He killed the Ash. Arguably, probably not one of the most utility-based operators, but that's still a pretty good gun off the board there. And
But
the double C4.
massive.
Wow, mute with the great C4 play on the above there. That's taking down it appears to be the Buck and the Jackal. Those are both shotguns off the board right there.
I wonder if he was just playing the sound through the hole in the hatch, or if they had a Mozzie drone that was up there watching them.
Honestly, it almost looks like he was. Oh, he gets another kill through this.
Through the hole.
I think Buck was making holes above, and he just happened to be right next to the Jackal. I'm not 100% sure. We weren't really looking that direction, but it almost looks like the Buck was making holes, and he just C4, like, kind of pre-fires C4, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's what I'm assuming. It's all down to Norway. He does pick up one, but with 17 seconds left on the clock, he's gonna have to, pull some real heroics here. One's in West Main, one's in Trophy. He's gonna try and drop hash. They don't have those holes, and it might screw them. But unfortunately, Quisitive swings out from West Main through the rotate. He picks the kill.
Yeah, that really is kind of scary for them when those walls are just reinforced like that, because it just means less angles for the attack to worry about when it comes to late round.
Yeah, especially if they're trying to do a hatch drop. That means that you actually have to swing into the room to stop them. The room being site both dining and kitchen.
Yeah, that little corridor hallway there.
Yeah, but having to actually swing in to get that kill instead of just peeking from behind a reinforcement, significantly more safe for the attack.
Yeah, generally a 3-3 half here is pretty good for especially when you're coming into attack. This might actually favor or at least slightly favor the cold ones out here.
Yeah, it definitely could. 3-3 split. This is what we like to see, though. It is a close game so far, and the score lines are actually fairly similar, right? We have Inquisitive leading with 8 kills, Toxic being his mirror on the other side, has reached double digits, but down the board, it's just a slow decline, but really everyone on both teams is definitely contributing, especially for their roles. And we're not seeing anyone just popping off to an extreme that it's a carry, right? It is spread out and definitely role heavy.
Yeah, I think if there's anybody who can come close to that carrying criteria, it's right now it's Toxic. He's having a really really good game right now. I mean, obviously he has teammates that are contributing very strongly, like Midnight Fire, especially in the first few rounds. She was doing exceptionally well in getting those picks and taking that map control that was very influential on the round's outcome.
Yeah, exactly. Toxic has started or keeping his team consistent as he has been getting a kill nearly every round, if I'm not mistaken, if not every round. But I'm excited to see what happens when the roles change, and they are now the ones running top floor defense. And we get to see the attack coming out of the cold ones.
Ooh, what a drown there from the cold ones, getting info on that guy blue stairs. That'll be very crucial for the round. I can almost guarantee it, because now they know that that guy's there. They can either choose to single him out from underneath, or they can probably even ignore. And they see two people library side, one on blue stairs. They could probably even rotate over to solar.
Well, so they also don't have any ADSs for this Mez guy, right? And so Hobbs here with the nades is rotating back into the library, and I assume he's going to try and nade out Nova.
Yeah.
Nova
not
does
very-
hit the pixel peak on Inquisitive though, as he tries to jump in. Oh, and Toxic gets Hobbs.
Dritz gets a trade back though onto Nova, and Terry gets Toxic. Ooh, that was a very quick trades right there.
And just like that, we're down to a 3v3. And same as when roles were reversed, they now have up to Ivy and Mez side in that 3v3. Vijus does pick up another one on the Midnight, and now things get very precarious for the defense, right? Because even though Hard Breach is off the board, defense is playing in positions that is really hard to cover more than one angle, and attack looks like they can just flood one side or the other. So this is definitely going to be tough for defense to bring back.
Yeah, but it's also kind of dicey there for the attack too, because now they can't open walls. So now they're forced to funnel in through two doorways, or they could even, I guess, try to go through office wall. But Norway gets the C4 kill onto Dritz here. Very crucial there. That
Yes, definitely.
That could
I
define
think
the whole round.
if defense pulls this off, is because of that C4 right there. Norway picks up average Terry, and now it is Gluteus in the 1v2. He tries to take the slow swing onto Piano, doesn't see anyone, tries to take the swing onto half wall. Unfortunately, Norway is out of range now, off the angle, and Gluteus has to take this push in through the smoke, because with 10 seconds left, after that smoke dissipates, it will not be enough time to get the 2 kills. He has to push in through this. Nope, choosing to go back through Ivy. He is basically out of time, hoping that they line up for him, and it's going to come down to kills. Unfortunately, can't do it. Just both defenders playing it smart, hiding, taking the picks that are at their advantage, and defense takes their first defensive round.
Yeah, that was a very good round there, especially like in the later half of the round from Norway, especially singling out those attackers, singling out the the gunfights, taking the crucial gunfights. He brought it down from a 3v2 down to a 2v1, essentially. Well, a 2v3 down to a 2v1, and now they obviously forced the last guy into a gunfight with either a smoke grenade choking him out or a bulletproof cam and head holes and a crossfire.
Yeah, it was not good for the attack there. I think they had the benefit and the advantage, but they just weren't capitalizing on it and pushing in when they had the opportunity. And because they decided to slow it down a little bit and do more droning, that C4 came out, evened up man count. And at that point, time's getting low enough that smoke had far more impact in the round than if they had tried to push in earlier before those smoke canisters had come out.
Yeah, both of those defenders played it extremely well. I think who was it? Who was it on the Smeg?
I believe it was Smoke Smoke was Hobbs. No, wrong team. It
Yeah, wrong team.
was
That's why I was like, because
yeah, it
I
was
know Hobbs
Norway.
plays Smoke.
Yeah, it
It
was
was Jay.
Norway, and I want to say Jay. Yeah,
Yeah. No, both of those guys played it extremely well there. Essentially, they forced the attackers to go into the defender setup, and that is essentially forcing the opponents to play your game. And whenever you're playing like your enemy's game, it's very hard to play your own game,
yeah,
essentially.
exactly.
And playing your own
They
game is the way you're familiar with.
we do see a very similar setup to the way that Cold Ones played this bar site. Difference is they do have Toxic playing Suicide. He has Will Midas to be able to cover himself. But Norway does not have. I believe Norway's on top blue. He does not have a shield over there to protect him. No, he decided to fall off completely. So they don't have any top blue presence at all. And that's going to be much harder for Nova to be able to cover. Okay, yeah, so she's on top blue. She doesn't have a shield for herself. She's just going to be trying to head glitch it, and we'll see what they can do from there.
See, now we have the player in Suicide, which we'll see how this plays out here. It's the Wamai, so she can, Wamai can, obviously, there's not too many things here to get him out of there, but there are 2 frag grenades, and I guess a fuse could probably work wonders here, but Hobbs is on the other side of the map, so you can almost count them out.
Yeah, exactly. They have the Aruni gates with the Wamidus. That's a lot of utility burn. They also have the Frost mat underneath both windows, so if they try to flash out and jump in, they're going to be caught by the Frost mats. Take that back. Only Frost mat under the big window. But
Yeah,
yeah, still same issue because that's the jump in that has the direct line of sight.
where are the Wamai's placed at? Is that one right there on the bookshelf?
Yeah, that was
there?
one.
Gotcha.
I believe so. There's also one, yeah, directly below the window, and then I believe under or over this window as well.
Yeah, and there's a gate on that window too, so that's like definitely a lot of burn for
Yeah,
the attack.
it's on the frost mat. So if that Wamidus catches anything, it's gonna destroy the frost mat, as Wamidus blow up when they capture something.
Yeah, it's like grabbing like a coin with a magnet, essentially. The coin is gonna go straight to the magnet, and I mean when it's a grenade ready to explode, obviously it's going to explode right where
So
the magnet is.
So our suicide player dies as he pushes up a little too far from the utility being thrown in. He takes the fight onto Gluteus from library, dies to it. Quisitive jumps in, but dies to the person playing below, looking up through the holes from connector. Nova takes out Vidritz, as we are now in a bit of a fight here from top blue window and Mez. Nova rotates to try and get a different angle, but he does put his self in a pretty poor position if they still have anyone on double window. They do not. He does get the pick on average Terry, and now we're down to 10 seconds. The attack is forced to do something as they walk in through bar door on both sides, looking for the last couple of players. Once in connector, they're not able to land the shots, and with that, time runs out.
Yeah, I don't know about you, but it almost seems like we're looking at a defender side of Chile.
Yeah, almost. I think, especially in BroLeague, where teams don't get as much time to practice, defense tends to be better on nearly every map. And so, uh, it was definitely even on the first half as we came on 3-3. But Super Soakers are making a statement as they take the first 2 defender sites and just say, no, we can defend just as well as we can attack. And we don't really care that you guys took it 3-3 on attacking half.
Yeah, honestly, it almost looks like every step of the way, Super Soakers is there for the, to counter whatever Cold Ones is doing. Like, Cold Ones cannot really enter the map. And if they want to get in the map, well, they have to fight Super Soakers. In order to, I guess, achieve that map control, which is obviously very, very common for most teams. But I think Super Soakers are doing like a spectacular job as opposed to Cold Ones. I feel like Cold Ones kind of gave them too much space sometimes on defense.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think, as we move through this map, we are seeing a very strong Super Soakers, and I'm hoping that they're able to close it out. But at the same time, I think if the Cold Ones fix some of the mistakes that they're having and get a bit of their teamwork together, they could make a run for it and bring
Oh,
it back to a 6-6.
yeah, for sure. Honestly, it just seemed like whenever Cold Ones was defending, they were just kind of letting Super Soakers kind of slip through the cracks of like their vision, and so they would get kind of surprised when they found like a member of the Cold Ones, and then they would also just kind of slip into the Super Soakers vision. Yeah.
So we see the bandit trick again. Oh, and they baited him. They put up the first thermite charge knowing it was gonna not go off, and had the fuse charge timed at the same time to kill the bandit when he was on the wall.
Yeah, that is a very, very smart play from Cold Ones. I kind of wonder if that's like one of their, what do you call it?
Little pocket strats against bandit tricking.
Yeah, that's not the word I was thinking though. Whenever you change something
Oh, and adaptations.
Yeah, an adaptation. There we go.
Yeah,
There's
yeah,
a
no, I
little bit
got
of
you.
brain fart there. A little bit of brain
Yes.
fart.
So Norway does pick up the kill on breach, still pre-firing outside of the other breach, but we see a 2-2 split on attack. 2 people outside of main breach, 2 people by trench. Hobbs and Features both take some large, important kills, and Gluteus closes it out with Norway. That just looked like defense overextending a little bit, because I didn't see anyone in the site. They were all trench, fridge, and outside of snowmobile garage. So that was just defense taking fights and losing them.
Honestly, I think a big part of that round was Fuse getting that double pick straight off the bat there on site
Oh,
with
definitely.
the cluster grenade. I don't think it was as much of defense overextending as much as it was just the attack just put themselves in a really strong position like really early and then just
Sure.
started kind of playing trades afterwards.
I
And they were
will I
just
will definitely say though, because of that double pick, defense was in a position that they had to push out. And so yeah, I think overextending is the wrong word, right? They had to take fights to even man count, and they just lost those fights.
yeah, and sometimes rounds just don't play the way you want them to. Sometimes you don't win gunfights that you feel like you should have. Sometimes like there's gunfights you really should win, but you just unfortunately do not have the, you know, either the luck or the skill involved to win that gunfight. So
Yeah, exactly.
I have a lot of moments where I do not win a gunfight that I feel like I should win, and you know, oftentimes it's a skill issue. It is what it is. Sometimes the enemies want it.
You know, sometimes they just have better gamer chairs, man. That's what I always blame it on.
Yeah,
Like,
sometimes that too.
I just don't have my
Sometimes.
secret labs. Yeah, that's the only issue.
Oh, that's the kind of chairs we're talking about. I thought you were talking about like sometimes you know they have a very very high sensitivity. They spin around and they're still able to kill you. You know, when they're moving at like
Sure.
Mach 2 across the map.
Exactly.
Those are always fun to play against.
I mean, you know, that's Siege for you.
Eh, it's called the Ubisoft experience.
Exactly. You're not a real Siege player until you've encountered spin botting. That's just how it is. Average Terry is directly below this Valkyrie, and I don't think the Valkyrie is aware of it. Never mind. She is, as Terry had the firebolt out and shot it above.
But does the Valk know about the second one?
It does not look like it. She takes a lot of damage trying to get her confirmed.
Oh, but it looks like the Sophia's doesn't know about the one in the kitchen either. Ooh, that's a very well positioning there from Super Soakers. Very good position.
Definitely. Even though they lost Norway, it's still even man count for the most part, as you know, they Cold Ones still have one bleeding out and featured some very low health.
Yeah, I'm actually a huge fan of this positioning here.
Oh,
wow.
but Vedrance hits the shot on Toxic, and it should be able to res Average Cherry, bringing it back to a 5v3.
Yeah, this is very advantageous for the Cold Ones now.
Midnight's able to pick up Gluteus with the SMG-11, bringing it to a 3v4. It looks like a C4 should have landed, but didn't. As that was on the wall. But Quisitive picks up Midnight, and now we're in a 4v2 with advantage definitely towards the Cold Ones.
Oh yeah, and now it keeps on continuing on here. Get a nice 3v2 here for the attack. Let's see.
Nova pushes up, tries to see if he can get a freebie here. He's hiding out in closet, takes a swing, hits the Capitao, is able to retreat before the ace is able to capitalize, hits the pre-fire but doesn't quite land the shots. And Hobbs is just out here. He's going to have to make a move as this cross is no longer effective for them.
Yeah, and this Nova did a really good play there, kind of capitalizing on the enemy's mistake by not covering his teammate there, especially that closet door.
And
Especially since they know that's the main rotate there.
as we get into this 30-second mark, the smokes start coming out. Nova takes the kill onto Ace, and Hobbs is going to have to swing in here through the smoke as that is his only option.
Yeah, definitely a very difficult situation for this Nomad to overcome, especially with the smoke canisters on the big window, big crossfire with a shotgun, and the 1.5 on the other side. Just an unwinnable situation there for Hobbs.
Yeah, he has 9 mil on one side and buckshot on the other, and he's swinging into a gas canister. That's the Siege experience as well.
Yeah, that's a very, very tough situation there for Hobbs.
Sometimes you just go into a situation knowing you're gonna die, but hoping for the best, right? Every situation is winnable, but sometimes that winning chance is a .001, and you know it, but you have to roll the dice.
And that's the good part. That's the good part about a 0.001% chance. That means there's still a chance. And if you can hit a nice lucky headshot on the smoke and flick right under the frost, I mean, there's a chance. Might not be in your favor. You might have to hit some crazy aim labs exercise to do that one, but
And,
sometimes, favor
I mean,
the luck is
and
in your favor.
sometimes that .001 is just that both the teammates look at each other, realize that they think the other person's an enemy, and they shoot each other in the head, so you don't have to do anything. But it's still a chance. It's still an option.
I wonder if somebody thought the head holes are on the other side of the wall there, and that's where where there's holes in.
That looks exactly like what happened. Norway was like, "Oh, let me, go ahead and shotgun these out," and then was like, "Oh wait, I'm Mira. I don't want to do that," and then reinforced his own holes.
Sometimes, I've definitely done that a few times where I would like reinforce the wrong wall, just like not even thinking. I would just do it and be like, "Oh crap, that was the wrong wall."
Yeah.
So my team gets mad at me.
Well, there's quite a few sites that you have to set up differently depending on the type of operators that you're running, right? And so
Oh, yeah.
sometimes like I'll forget that we have a mirror on the team because I didn't see who picked it. And so I'll reinforce off a wall that would normally be left off because the wall next to it would have a mirror window. And so it's like, oh well, I just screwed over our mirror.
Yeah, that's always like that's always fun. Having to deal with a mad mirror after that. Ooh.
Oh, they're about to do a rush through bottom main window straight into bar. I'm not sure the defense is aware of it. It does not look like they are. I think the call's coming out that it's a rush. One from top Mez is able to pick up two, but Hobbs is already inside, trading out the kills. Feedrith is inside, and the plant goes down inside the window on where did that go down? Nope, just inside a bar door. Hobbs is left in a 1v4. They should be able to start the defuse here, and Hobbs is gonna hit a nasty shot on the rotate, but not gonna be able to finish it off.
Wow, what a nice retake to conclude our first match of the season.
Oh, definitely. They got the call that, hey, Gonsex went off. There's most likely a rush. Person from top Mez swings out, picks up two. At that point, Defuse is already down, and Hobbs is inside having control. But, as they all kind of collapse back through that bar area, there's just too many bodies to contest with. And, as Hobbs is in the middle of games with no, cover, he's just kind of screwed.
Yeah, Hobbs was a super sub for sure.
Oh, for sure. He really did well during that match.
Yeah, he was
GG's,
pretty
guys.
instrumental in that last round, even though it like him taking all that map control there and almost securing the round. I mean, yeah, obviously a couple gunfights didn't go the right way, but that's what Siege is all about. It's not about, it's not always about who has the better strategy. Sometimes it's just whose guns whose guns are shooting and whose guns aren't.
I mean, that's the beauty of Siege, right? It's both a tactical game and a mechanical game, right? If it's purely a tactical game, then at that point you're just playing chess or you're playing, another tactical strategy game, and that doesn't have the randomness of chance when it comes to something like a shooter, where lucky headshots happen, hip fires happen, wall bangs that are just blind happen. And that's the beauty of Siege. Is it's a clash of two worlds.
Yeah, that's what I think. That's what attracts all of us to just that, I guess, uniqueness of the strategic depth of it, and obviously the unique gunplay. I mean, the gunplay is not, I guess, exceptionally unique, but it definitely feels different than most other games that you play. And I mean, it's hard to not fall in love with it sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. And so, I mean, this was the conclusion of our first match, and I think it was, a beautiful and well played match. But hopefully, with these teams especially, I'm looking forward to seeing their next matches and seeing where they go from here. Whether they can continue on with their win streak or they're able to come back. I know it was talked about that there's a possibility of rematches, so we may get to see that as well, especially if they make it to the majors. But all that will come in time, and I would like to thank everyone here for joining us on this first stream of the fourth season of Bro League.
Yeah, honestly, that was a very great game to conclude that first one as well. I mean, well, maybe not conclude, but open the new chapter for the Bro League.
Yes, definitely.
And,
Well,
and it
thank
wasn't
you
a
all.
blowout either.
Well, thank you all, especially Dynasty and Salt, who have joined me in the booth. And is there any closing remarks?
I'm just really happy to be here. Really happy to see such a, I guess, tight game, especially for the first game of the season. At least it wasn't like a blowout or anything. It was a nice neck and neck draw throughout the whole time.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. It was definitely well played. And we love to see those close matches.
Yeah, and some of the rounds were really entertaining, especially with that rush strat the last round. That really kept things interesting.
Definitely. Well, thank you guys so much, and I guess I will sign it off with have a good evening, and thank you for watching Bro League.